What's up, everybody? Wayne from Derby City. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Happy New Year coming up. I was going to bring you a quick commission that I've just been working on. It's got finished, completely finished, finally. For Frank Lamar or Lamare. Don't know exactly how you pronounce your name. Luckily, you put Frank in parentheses, or so made it easier for me. Sorry, dude. I'm gonna call this Unleashed or the Unleashed. I like Unleashed by itself better. What we got is it started out as a Saber Forge Monarch, heavily modified to uh, be a lot more screen accurate to the Starkiller from the first game, except for the Force Unleashed 2 pommel be the only big difference on it. So, what we got is heavily weathered. I did not do the cracking. That was done from Shamim. But the parts I did do on the weathering is the blaster effect. The story behind this is when he sent it to me, I told him, or before he sent it to me, I was like, man, if you really want me to do the install, because I was hesitant at first to do the install on this because, I build my own Starkillers. But, I went and did it for him because he agreed to let me do what I wanted to on it. And so what we had to do, his main concern with the reveal chassis was that we had two AV switches, which I'm not real popular with AV switches, especially on Starkiller. So that's where the blaster effect came from. Anybody see the pictures? Also, Frank, one of the reasons I didn't get this shipped out tonight is this other AV switch hole really got on my nerves, man. Like, we spent all this time getting this looking cool, and I just left that open and blank. I couldn't take it no more. I actually found this cone washer from an old Saber I had. Some of the parts. That's why you never get rid of spare parts, because you can always find something. It just stood up and was like fit perfect. You can see there. What it also does, before I did a custom machine, the piece to go in here to hold the chassis in place, it was super tight. Probably wasn't going anywhere. But, the more I thought about it over time, I don't have any problems with this thing over time. Maybe starting to slide out and the chassis slide, and you have to push it back in. So I added these two screws and plus this, and it's going to help it, and it's not going anywhere now. Actually, also added the real copper clamp there for a little more accuracy. I cut down the control box about half, make it more comfortable. It was pretty tall on here, so I machined it down and changed the look on it a little bit. It's more remnants of like the Darth Alice style Todd's control boxes and the Vader vault boxes, and also with the two tactile switches in there. And I did take some of the black paint off the back there. So the last thing on the outside I did is a little work to the crystal chamber area. It's one thing that really bothered me. So when you set this thing down before, if you notice, the original chamber is still in there. So I wanted to do what I could to make it more accurate without rebuilding the whole crystal chamber, which would have cost a lot more money and took a lot more time. So I added some more rods in the back. So this thing has 5 rods versus the 3 that it had before. And with this one, I went with no wire showing. On this one, I usually have at least one, but I went with the no wire look this time, something different for me. And another thing, like I said before, when this thing's set like this, only way you can see if you look, the black rods that are inside there, only way you can see it is looking straight at it. And Starkiller, that's one of the main things that steps out is these rods. So what I did is I took some rods I had, made them up myself, slotted them, and I mount them out. It's kind of like the style of some of the older row Starkillers where it's mounted on the outside and milled in here. Also, the inside's kind of like, I think, one of their older Vader's Vault style, how it's mounted, machined in with the underneath the emitter there, and added the 2 little greeblies there. Real special, but it does add to it. Kind of looks cool. So there it is on the outside. Turned out really well. So let's talk more about what's in this jewel. Oh, another thing. Let's talk about removing and pulling the handle on and off. The chassis in there is real tight. Not real tight, but it's pretty close. And for some reason there's inside there's 2 different pieces of the hilt which were actually not perfectly bored, perfectly straight. So it kind of made it real tight in spots. So I had to do a lot of filing and stuff to get it down as much as I could. So now it's a lot. Before it was almost, it was kind of scary. So we got that taken care of. But just to make it easier and simple, that we don't do no damage to the chassis because it is 3D print. Just when you twist it, when you get off the threads here, just kind of go ahead. Once we get past the threads, we're off, and just kind of keep twisting it, man. It actually slides off a lot easier. So internally, like I said, I machined the piece to go up in here where the 440 rods connect, hold all this together. No screws or didn't have to round off any bolts or anything to get this thing to stay together tight. And it is put together tightly. There's no flex. Now, if you took something to beat on it like the other hammer, yes, it'll break. It's 3D printed. If you do these right, man, and make them tight, they don't flex. And man, they look awesome. And of course, everybody knows I'm a big fan of Rick Rio's Goth custom 3D design chassis. I use those anything I can unless it's small enough where I have to make my own out of Delrin. So, of course, did my own little paint job to it to add my own little flair to it. Bass speaker. Added the mesh. The main reason I did that was because I wanted a way. I don't like wires showing that much, and this is one of the few installs you're going to see with mine is you're going to see any wires. But I had to for the SD card access for the speaker. The speaker wires would have been in the way, and I left the one wire, the ground for the 2 accent LEDs on the inside. And of course, here we have the Plector Labs Prism. Didn't do a lot of configuring to it, man. I figured it's your saber, man. Let you customize it. I did add 1 sound font to it, Force Unleashed remastered for you, because it had to have that now. And I left all your other fonts on there from Saber Font. I just replaced one of the stock ones that was left on it, man. But you gotta get rid of those Jedi fonts, man. This is a Sith Saber. Just saying. With the kill key, technically you don't have to use one on this. I'm pretty sure if it's the same as the other, you got the deep sleep mode, so it doesn't pull enough to actually hurt the battery. But I did have one in there because I wanted to show you the boot sound for one on the Force Unleashed, because it has like 3, and when you're doing it the other way, it doesn't play them all in the exact same way. So I'm going to ship it with this one here. It's just a simple custom saber shop. Rise, my apprentice. So there's like a couple. At last, the dark side is your ally. And of course, it's a lot louder when you put the palm on. And of course, in the back, you got the rice and the recharge port for you. So enough about that. Let's put this jewel back together. The same way we're taking it off. Take it on there, start twisting it. Booyah, booyah. Slide it on. Now to get this thing lined up to where it needs to be for the accents to stand out a lot more, you know, tighten it up. And you can tighten it here. If you did that, man, You can still see them, but they're not as bright, and I like them I want it to stand out. So you'll back it up to where this is on the other side. So you'll spin it around here, and get to the other side. Just take, pretty much what you want to do is just take this grip that's right next to it, put it dead center, man. And you're going to have one on the bottom, dead center, one on top, and it's going to line up perfect to where the accent LEDs are going to be. So with that, let's fire her up. And I put it on the wrong side. So actually, there we go. I turned it a little bit too far. So to get it right here, you want to turn it like that, but always line up this grip. So you'll want it to the right hand side, the left grip, left side grip is going to be dead center. With I know it looks backwards probably on the video, but the thing's going to be on the side towards the top. Line up the grip, and you'll get that. And I'm going to check to make sure. I think there was 1 or 2 fonts that the LED needs to be changed on, so you might have to fix that, or I'll try to fix it if I get time. But if I don't get it, man, you can go in and configure it to where it does this. We just got 2 of them, man. The 4 didn't work for some reason. I didn't get a chance to work it out. But we got these 2 in there, rocking it out. Looks good. And of course, we're gonna have a minute. Yeah, turn this up. And you're gonna have you have the force push too. You gotta do it a certain way. Let's take this out. Let me put my blade in it real quick. I'm running a little longer than I expected. So take my dust cap off, install this. One thing too, man, I wanna the way this retention screw is, man, it sits so far back that it only gets to the very back of the I mean, it's in there, but it sits so far back, man, we might want to, I don't know if I can get it in here, man. It would have been a perfect spot, would have been here, and if I'd have caught that in time, I would have went ahead and mounted a second one right here. But even if I went with the real small retention screw, I don't know if I could get in there and tap it without like scraping up this. And we definitely don't want to take it back apart, man. We done got this far. So maybe if we put one kind of up towards the top here somewhere kind of out of the way where you won't really notice it. But just send me a message on that, man, to see if it's something you want me to do. See, it looks good, man, on camera. We'll switch up the blade colors. These are all factory, man, so if you want to get in there and mess with it, I suggest if you never messed with the rice, to kind of go in there and watch, I think Mad Cow, Rob had a very good tutorial on how to use the rice. And of course, you can change the fonts. Sensitivity needs to be a little bit more sensitive on the swings, because you really got to swing this jewel to get to make the swing sounds. Everything else works perfect. try to dual phase it. See where my head's at. And let's go through one more.
There has been an awakening.
I really love this more Blaco font.
Have you felt it?
Love this font for some reason, man. I have it on a couple of my igniter boards. All right, sir. There she is, Frank. Do me a favor, get back to me on the retention screws. Also, guys, gals, Saber fans, Star Wars geeks. Do me a favor, go to my page, give Derby City Sabers a like, check out some of my other work there. Also, here in the next week or two, I'll hopefully finish up on my, fortunately, Starkiller that will be up for sale. Pricing will be as soon as I get it all together and get the build log and all the parts and the labor time and all that, and that's when I'll have the final price on it. It will be equipped with an igniter, and we'll talk about it later when it comes out. Like I said, like my page, comment, send me messages. Best way to get a hold of me is through the Derby City Sabers, man. It's hard to keep up here lately. There's so many messages going to both sides, so it's hard to keep up with Derby City Sabers and my own messages, all the Saber questions and comments and, you know, commission talk. So it's just easier for me to go through one because I have so many messages. So just hit me up like that. Hope to hear from you. Hope you enjoy the video, Frank. Man, I'm glad I got this done for you, man. I know it's been a long time waiting for you, brother. I'm glad I was able to do it for you. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to be everything that you wanted, man. Even a couple things more. I'm pretty sure you're going to be happy with it, man. So, thanks, guys. May the force be with you.